Hey, people interested here, 53, Avensa Stronghold, blue team. It's Pojedynczy with an Apothecary support hero that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a heal and passive health regeneration aura. This is the Lunar Wolves Horus Heresy elite scheme, I believe. Because, yeah, look at these weird bolters they get. Why would you put the magazine there? Did they use it as a foregrip or something? I don't know. It was the Heresy. Bunch of weird stuff going on. Alongside here, Venjitron with a Warp Spider Exarch, teleporting hero that fights range combat by default, awesome at capping and harassing with some powerful control abilities. This is the same Han elite scheme, I think. Yep, recolored blue-ish. And riding off the blue team, it's a pedetorq, also known as zeetorq, with a mech boy, teleporting hero that fights range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support, disrupt, build structures and repair. And on the red team, we have a whole bunch of Imperial Guard. First up is Matt with a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support, fights in melee combat, can also tank with a refractor shield here. This is the Death Core of Krieg. There they are. Alongside here, TowerGuard with a Lord General, fights range combat, begins with a Stormtrooper retinue, can add to this retinue throughout the game, has very strong defense and support. And rounding us off, ASD with an Inquisitor, offensive hero with powerful control abilities, little bit of support and some death it looks like here. Yep, down she goes. Begins in melee combat but can get ranged weapons. That was the Vostroyan Firstborn elite scheme. Lord General caps the mid. So this is one of my maps, Avensa. I made it in like a 5-day period when I was sick one time. I thought, well, let's make the laniest, most bloodbath map with no safe powers we can do. And this is what happened. It's actually not Avensa Stronghold, of course. This map is meant to be like one giant bridge, which isn't always easy to see. And let's see this big firefight first before I start rambling about the map I made years and years ago. Lots of fire scares off the orcs. You can see the kind of the edge of the bridge here. And the stronghold itself is meant to be up here. So it's kind of more the bridge to Avensa Stronghold, but that was a bit too long of a name. The Warp Spider Exarch went down and lost one of the Dire Avenger squads while I was rambling. What is this colour scheme doing? Good camouflage, guys. It's camouflage at a Slanesh orgy or something, maybe. Pushing alongside the Tactical Marines are these Dire Avengers, and Devastators in play for Pojedynczy. The fellow with that name that I can't say very well. Customized Stormbolter on the way. Gives him a very useful ranged weapon, allows him to sit back with his Marines, heal him up with his aura, and full auto stuff in the face. 410 to 492, power bashing on this side, and why not? Invest in your power bashing, bros, because you can do a hell of a lot of it on this map. A hell of a lot of it. This is why some people don't like this map, because of the power being so vulnerable to bashing. And I say, suck it up, fools. Protect your power or lose it. Just saw some full auto on some guardsmen, which was a strange way to use that ability, seeing as there's now a Lord Commissar in your face. Sentinel goes down, tried to stomp a Devastator, which didn't work out, and Aura of Discipline is up. Here comes some support from the Eldar, putting a shield up there for some reason. The fight's over here, fellas. No, they're going mid. Maybe they're pushing mid. Oh, okay. There's fighting some Catechans. The Inquisitor is back to her feet. Not sure if she was revived or what. Maybe TowerGuard did, and that's why he has this big chunk of XP here. Plasma Grenade. Didn't hit flush, but did a bit of work. Hammer of the Witches comes down. Nope. They ran too far away for its trigger. We got some big shooters, and the mech boy himself has a big shooter. Daka indeed. 38 piercing DPS on a teleporting hero in tier 1 is a lot of Daka. Old Reliable there, trying to help out their Inquisitor. Looks like she does get away okay. Guardian weapon team, as you saw. A very messy start. in terms of positioning and engagements. No real lines being drawn. Orks, not known for their neat firing ranks, I suppose. Sentinel gets a decap over it. What a cheeky Sentinel fella. Now flee. The Dakka's gonna get ya. I think it's gonna be alright. I think maybe Mech Boy can teleport after it. Is he gonna bother? They might just bash the power now. Meanwhile, west side looks like Pojedynczy's having a decent time of it over here. Needs some help, does Matt. Where's TowerGuard? Standing in the mid and shooting stuff. Fair enough. That's probably what I'd be doing. We do have a multi-laser turret here. Is the Commissar... No, Commissar's up. It's got some catechins now. But this has now been noded by the blue team. So has this contested power. And there's the power bash from the Orks. And all that Dakka does a pretty good job at it. As you can see, spotters coming in with the artillery shell. And someone let me know in the comments of a previous video that these guys do approximately 50% more DPS than a standard guardsman with their las gun, which isn't saying much. When you only do 4 DPS or something, doing 50% more isn't too impressive. But it's better than nothing. It's better than just being a guardsman. Not sure if that also applies to melee damage. Oh, reliable. I saw a bunch of blood there. So something die? Yep, one of them died. Catechins need to back away. But they're not gonna. Not being suppressed for a while there, as you saw, because they were behind that heavy cover. Using their heal from the medical sergeants. Meanwhile, red team pushing hard on the east side back here. Can they get a power bash of their own again? They did completely decap this power before, remember. They've taken down the node. Now they're going for a decap. Heavy weapon squad in play. Mech Boy could teleport on it and tie it up. These guards will need to be careful though. Orc bullets hurt. And a flank here from the Eldar. This could be nasty. Grenades in. Looks like they are... I was going to say dodged, but that guy turned around and tried to set up his weapon right on the grenades and then dies. 400 to 451 on the VPs. Tier 2 for the Apothecary and the Mech. Spotter's doing a good job. Guardian weapon team getting pretty low, but should be okay. I mean, they decapped it. No power coming in right now, but they couldn't bash the gens. Spotters do survive. But those heavy weapon fellas didn't last very long, did they? Kicking off again on the west side. Because that red team have retaken the power down there and also stolen this one and noded it up. And put some more gens on it. They're committing to protecting this now, and they might not be able to, as you can see. Pojedynczy is going to be able to immediately either bash it or steal it back, I think. Devastator's having trouble getting a firing arc. They're getting the job done, I suppose. And now they're getting flanked. A good grenade launcher. But that's the thing about Imperial Guard, eh? You disrupt everything with your catechins, and then you don't really have anything in Tier 1 to go in and really hurt them because of that. I suppose your hero can do that a lot of the time. Lord Commissar's going to be pretty fearsome in Tier 1 with their power sword. Carapace armor's up. Gives him some buffs when he uses Inspire Courage. 391 to 420. Looks like the blue team are pushing east again. Orks versus Imperial Guard all day. It's a fun fight to watch. Who can shoot the most stuff and take the most losses? Guardsman there trying to tie up the shooters, but looks like the Dakka was too much because the Mech Boy used his more Dakka Global, which I think like reduces their weapon cooldowns and stuff, so they shoot more. It's appropriately named. Dreadnought on the way for Pojedynczy. and Wraithguard for Venjitron. Red team a bit behind in the tech race, thanks to this power being down for a lot of it. They have taken back that contested. In fact, I don't think it ever went down again. I think they've kept it all this time, so they do have a fair chunk of power income at the moment. As you can see, they're plus 60, plus 20, plus 49 even. I can read. They do need this back though, so it's a good job they have the west side. Have the west side in terms of power even. Tactical Marines getting in on these. Oh, the Lord Commissar's off. Getting in on the Guardsmen. Catachans not being used in melee enough over here for my liking, I think. They do have power melee weapons for some reason. Those knives are something that they have. Inquisitor with the Holy Brazier, which is a power weapon. She's running. Ogren's on the way from Matt. The Inquisitor ASD or AST, whatever, with a Chimera. Wraithguard dealt with in the mid. They are going to be a strong force though against all this blobby range stuff. That's what they want to fight with those Wraith Cannons. Here's a Dreadnought. Ogrins can fight it. They don't really want to fight it. Maybe buffed up by a Lord Commissar, they can take it on, especially Aura of Discipline going. 356 to 420. It's going to be a dicey fight though for those guys. Might need a las cannon or something, or some stormtroopers. Sentinel getting shots in with the missile launcher. Lord Commissar getting suppressed. Needs to put the shield up and be careful here. Sentinel used pretty well by TowerGuard there. Kept it at a distance. Taking those shots. Apothecary is level 3. Improved medical equipment is up. 356 to 409. Red team still have this power. They can't keep the east power though. Still, plus 47 is not bad. Not quite as good as the plus 56 from the blue team, of course. Double Wraithguard for Venjitron. That's going to be painful. Here they are. Look at those shots. It's terrifying. Boom. And Ogren's dealt with as well. Not looking great for the red team here. We do see some stormtroopers from Matt with the anti-armor kit to try and fight this dreadnought. And Ast has some assault kit stormtroopers for more shootiness. And more range, I think. Yep, 20% weapon range and 0 weapon cooldown, which is pretty cool. They just shoot and shoot and shoot. Oh, so las cannon getting shots in. Dreadnought got pretty low. Can you find it with your stormtroopers? What are they doing? Get out there, fellas. If you melter bomb that guy, send in the Ogrins, shoot it with your melter guns. It's going to go down pretty quick. Scouts are trying to repair it, of course. This Devastator's causing a hell of a lot of trouble for Matt. Use your Basilisk Flare, buddy. Get in there. Does not have Catachans anymore. Did Matt ever have Catachans? I think he did. Ogrins get in. And that's so much damage you saw in those few hits. Dreadnought backs away. Pojedynczy did not like the Ogrins being in the back line without the Dreadnought ready to meet them at all. Blue team are taking the mid. Frag missiles hitting the object there. Getting some shots in now though. Las cannon can't really shoot anything in this army effectively. Maybe the Wraithguard, no, I think Wraithguard still count as small. I think. Here we see crack shots. The global ability of the Warp Spider gives them, I think it's 25% more range damage and like +7 range or something. So you just shoot better. It's a pretty good global. 351 to 367. 2-to-1 cap to the blue team, but it's very close. Red team holding up reasonably well here, despite, in my eyes, being behind in terms of armies and composition. In fact, look at this. Getting on the power on the east side. Well done, Ast. Has that Chimera support. Has those spotters which are doing a good job. Looks like they are upgraded with the incendiary shells as well. Ogrins are in. Here's use your red. And they are ripping through these Space Marine lines. The Dreadnought's there to fight them though. Smack. Maybe finishing off these Devastators. Ripper guns taking their shots. I don't think they're going to be able to get another melee attack on. And now they have to retreat. 351 to 335. Power is being... He likes to steal this power over here, doesn't he? Or she, or whatever it is. Ast. Just shoot the gens, fella. You can't hold it. Maybe they can. Here comes a bunker. They are committed to these generators. Okay then.
The enemy is capturing one of our victory points.
Orks will give it another go. They got some tank busters now. Weird Boy can also do some anti-vehicle, and the beamy death guns up for the mech boys. So the Chimera, if all those things land, it's not going to last very long. Blue team have taken this power though. Red team have got this back, got no generators on it. Chimera lives for now. I think it needs to keep moving though, because the mech boy will chase it. He can stay set up while he teleports. Yep, down it goes. Needed to keep it moving. Oh, he's got the Inferno Pistol now. Scares off the sluggers. Pedetorq's now moving in. Again, should be tying things up in melee, I feel like. Kind of missing a trick there. Could have got in on the Weird Boy. I guess they did good damage with their shotguns and their melter gun. And stays in play. Look at this. Even without the Chimera, everything reinforcing off the bunker was enough to keep everything going. He's doing a good job locking this power down. I was wrong. Matt, though, is down to just Ogrins and Guardsmen. Goes tier 3. But that's looking pretty bad. Pojedynczy with some Terminators. While I was busy looking on the east side, we have a sniper rifle Lord General trying to tie up the Wraith Guard. Dreadnought gets in, minces a bunch of guardsmen that are all reinforcing off this bunker here. Terminator's being used in melee. Yeah, Wraith Guard needs to be a little bit careful not to get some friendly fire on this Dreadnought. Plasma guns up. Yeah, plasma guns all around to fight the Terminators and the other Marines. And it is pretty good in general at shooting infantry. Old plasma guns. What's this? Inquisitor's back. Level 3. Power is still locked down over here. 306 to 305 is very even on VPs. This map usually gives you no real time to stabilize anywhere. So it's just constant fighting. Blue team trying to stabilize the mid though, as you can see. Don't think red team have the rosters to do much about it over here. Cyclone missile launchers up. Dreadnoughts again getting some repairs, level 2. Lots of shooting. Buffed by the sniper rifle, of course. Ogrin's getting in there. Getting on the Wraith Guard as well. And blowing them up. Venjitron kept them in play way too long. Didn't move them back or anything. Does eventually retreat them. Imperial Guard trying to stand and fight. They lost the las cannon they had though. So this Dreadnought has pretty much free reign. What is this? That's an Eldritch Storm. Decent hits. But I might have wanted to save that for, you know, Lehman Russes and stuff. A Lehman Russ on the way from Matt also. So red team might be able to claw their way back into it over there. Meanwhile, I think it's time for ASD to help out in the mid. Did a lot of good work on this east side. But the Orks have broken through. And are chopping up some stormtroopers. They'll be alright. What's this? Ogrins. Almost level 2, these fellas. Lord Commissar has a power claw. And eats so much. He just runs into devastators a lot, this guy, doesn't he? Can the Cyclone missile launcher hit the tank? What is this? Creeping barrage? Yeah. Creeping barrage from TowerGuard. Makes Pojedynczy back off. And now they can shoot the power, I guess. This has not been noted. Or maybe it was just bashed just right now. Mech Boy revived by the Warp Spider, who has Entangling Web to fight those Ogrins, and improved targeters. I mean, getting 50% more range damage is pretty significant. 2-to-1 cap here. And red team somehow getting back in on the mid. What happened to all the Eldar? Oh, I guess they're going east now, eh? Limaras certainly vulnerable to double Wraith Guard shooting at it. Pedetorq need to get in there, I think. Uh-oh. Otherwise, that might happen. It just got wiped out. Need to keep moving when you're fighting Wraith Guard. Like, hey, Mr. Lehman Russ, keep moving. This could be nasty. Foot of Gork. Boom. That was nasty. That was also a rocket run, though. Bunch of stuff going on in that fight all at once. Which led to lots of death, which is what we want. Oh, the Lehman Russ went down from Mats. Las Cannon getting shots, I suppose. Did not last long. 288 to 208. I feel like red team are doing a really good job holding on with like barely any army for a lot of the game here. Blue team should be pushing this a bit more aggressively. Shouldn't be letting them get Lehman Russes up. Well, that was a heal there, was it? From the battery pack, I think. Blue team taking a mid back. Battle wagon now on the way for zeetorq. Another Lehman Russ, this time for ASD. We've got a last cannon mid. There is, I mean, it's the laney map, but there is plenty of opportunity, as you can see, to flank around. Stairs right here. Level 2 Ogrins. Level 3 Lord Commissar. Dreadnought has been pretty awesome so far. Matt has tons of wreck, but not a lot of power. Could get some Kassakin or something, but I think the Dreadnought is a big problem. Lehman Russ is a vanquisher. Starting to get some shots on that Dreadnought now. I'm not sure why Pojedynczy has pushed it in here with the tank in play. Taking big chunks of damage. Looks like it will be maybe okay. Ogrins are fighting Terminators. Generally not a good fight for them. Turn their attention to Tactical Marines. Need to keep these guys moving. We saw what Wraith Guard can do, especially if you buff them with cracked shots. Don't see any buff here though. Keeping the tanks moving. Nicely done by these two players here. Uh-oh. Battle wagon. Can run you over and shoot you. And let's defy the laws of physics while it does so. 282 to 122. Cyclone missile launcher doesn't hit the Lehman Russ. Wraith Guard is still in here. What are you doing? Get away. There we go. Tanks didn't take much damage there. Ogrin's going after Terminators again. And those guys teleporting away. Big retreat by Pojedynczy. Venjitron now with an avatar on the way. Red team have a lot of catching up to do in terms of their armies. But again, they're able to get to the mid. Tanks are pretty good, it turns out. Where's the battle wagon? Over here. just kind of hanging out right now. And there's not a whole lot that ASD can do about it, aside from shooting the Inferno Pistol. Okay, these guys are just going to get wrecked. Where's the tank? Oh, it's still mid. VP says ASD, indeed, there's a triple against them. They've been up against it for a while. There's a second Terminator squad.
An ally has secured a power node.
zeetorq just kind of hanging out on the east side. Red team able to decap and like halfway cap the mid. Very sluggish getting back out into the field. There's a Rocks on his own units. I guess they think the game's over here. And I suppose it is. There's the double, and it's going to be enough. And there we have it. We had a level 5 Apothecary. We had a level 5 Warp Spider. Level 6 Mech. Level 3 Commissar. Level 6 Lord General. And level 4 Inquisitor. A lot of good work on the east side by ASD. Just maybe overstayed it a little bit. Needed to be mid and support. Because blue team did a massive amount of damage over here early. And they kind of struggled to recover. They didn't really push their advantage enough, I don't think, over here, the blue team. Didn't bash that power. Matt could really get nowhere near this VP. And in the end, they looked relatively comfortable, the blue team. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.